Hello, traders, and welcome to the market opening preview, Tuesday, April 26, 2016. Traders, great to be with you, coming to you live from Pattaya, Thailand. Bright blue, sunny skies, very, very hot, and white sandy beaches. The water looks absolutely gorgeous today. It is a Tuesday, second day of our trading week. Lots going on. We'll get to that in just a second. Traders, this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Please come visit our website at fxclearing.com for your trading solutions. All right, traders, before we get started, let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gilday, and I'm your moderator for the Market Opening Preview Series every single trading day before the London Open. Traders, I started trading in the year of 2006. 2008, I retired from a wonderful 27-year career as a firefighter paramedic out of the great state of Florida. Traders, 9 days later, came to Thailand for a 3-month holiday. Well, traders, I'm in my 9th year just starting and absolutely having a great time, loving retirement and loving trading Forex every trading day. I'm a technician. I love technical charts. I like reading candlestick patterns, support, resistance, price action, price structure, and price failure. And I put that together with fundamentals, knowing what's going on around the world and when events are possibly coming up that we need to know about, who's speaking, the numbers that are coming out. And really, when we take a look at the charts today, you're going to see a perfect example of data stalling the markets. And it's pretty big. We'll take a look at that in just a second. Before we do that, let's get over to the risk disclaimer, because there is risk anytime you take a Forex trade. So let's take a look at this. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential of risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex markets. Traders, most importantly, please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right. Let's head over to see how some of our indices did yesterday. Looks like a pretty red day on the U.S. markets. They sort of flattened out late in the new U.S. session. The Dow 30 closed negative 0.15%. The S&P 500 closed negative 0.18%. And the NASDAQ closed negative 0.21%. Let's take a look at what's going on over in the Eurozone. The DAX closed negative 0.76%. The FTSE 100 in London closed negative 0.78%. The CAC 40 closed negative 0.52%. And the Eurostoxx 50 closed negative 0.74%. Everybody's in the red. Okay, let's head on over to Asia. Let's take a look. All the Asian markets are open at the current time. The Nikkei 225 is currently negative 0.38%. The S&P ASX 200 out of Australia is positive 0.13%. The China A50 is positive 0.45%. And the Hang Seng out of Hong Kong is positive 0.23%, with the Kospi at a sole positive 0.30%. Let's take a look at the economic calendar today, and I have to tell you, it's a very quiet day today in the markets. We do have in the London session BBA mortgage approvals. That's a medium impact news event, but really a very, very quiet day. That's it in London. And all the data releases today is going to be in the U.S. session. We have core durable goods orders due out today in the U.S. session. And we have CB consumer confidence for April comes out today in the U.S. session. So, like I said, all high-impact news events are in the U.S. session. So, very quiet day today, reference to news releases, data releases. So, we'll keep an eye on that as we go through our trading day. My commentary is basically that everybody is waiting for the BOJ to make their decisions this week on if they're going to do any kind of continuing of easing and try to bring the yen back a little bit. So, basically waiting on the BOJ. And, of course, the other big news for the week is the FOMC meets this week. And we're not expecting any rate hikes or anything like that. We're basically more interested in what FOMC Chairwoman Janet Yellen has to say, what the direction of the Fed is at the moment. They talked about 4 rate hikes, and we haven't, for this year, and we've only had one. So we'll see how this goes. But we'll see. It doesn't look like we're going to get 4, that's for sure, especially if they don't raise this month, and I think the next Fed meeting's in June. So if they don't raise in June, so the markets have basically gone sideways because of this, these 2 news events, and Brexit is really coming to the forefront as June comes closer for their referendum. So everything I read says that they're not going to leave the Eurozone. So the polls are showing the numbers are pretty high for staying in the Eurozone. So I don't see that happening, but you never know. Can't go on polls very often, right? All right, let's take a look at some currency pairs, my friends. Here's the euro dollar. This is yesterday's chart. Yes, it is. We have a lot of yesterday's charts today. Not because I'm lazy, but because nothing has changed. Look at this price action. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely sideways. So our plan is still the same. Want this to come up to the 200 exponential moving average and take it down to our support line at 1.1229, and we'll get in it at 1.1279. So we want to sell the euro dollar, and we're just waiting for our entry to happen, but it has not manufactured itself that as of now. So we're just going to wait and be patient. We're going to have to be patient, especially with no data coming out today. It's going to make very hard for price action to get moving today because of that. Let's take a look at the pound dollar. Pound moved yesterday. It's pretty wild. The pound moved, and they, I'm sort of like, I see this up move. I see the gap was filled. It had bounced off that 55 exponential moving average like unbelievably. I mean, you want to talk about candlesticks telling your story. First candle touches, second candle closes as a doji. Yep, you expect the third candle is going to do something, and there she went and just head on up there. So we're looking at this now, and we're at resistance. You can see I put a magenta line on the top of the chart showing resistance. And we need to clear all this, right? If we're going to, I'm bearish in this pair. I want to sell this. I don't want to buy the pound. So I need this to clear, and I need this to get below the daily pivot point in the 55 exponential moving average, because it's basically shown us on this chart from past price action that this 55 is respected in this pair, and price is reflecting that. So we're looking at getting in at like 1.4450, somewhere below there, and then we'll get out at the 200 exponential moving average at 1.4392. Again, we can see from past price action that price has responded to that price of the 200 exponential moving average. So we'll make sure we get out before we get down there and we don't get caught in a bounce. So again, we're bearish on this. We're looking for a bearish entry, and basically we need this to break below the daily pivot and a retest. Okay, my friends, let's take a look at the Aussie. Yes, this is yesterday's chart. This is another one of yesterday's charts. This is nothing has happened with the Aussie dollar. There's been no data in the Asia session for the last 2 days, and Asia hasn't moved at all, and neither has the Aussie. So trade plan's the same. Let's pull back to the 200 exponential moving average, and let's sell it. Other than that, there's nothing more to do. That's what's happening with that. And, just keep an eye on it. Just watch it. Nothing much going on, my friends. I have to be honest with you. Let's take a look at the Euro Aussie. Again, just in this range. We're looking for this to break below the 200 exponential moving average, that green line. We'd like to get in at 1.4570. We'll get out at the S2 reversal pivot at 1.4516. So this is a nice 60 pip trade if we can get this to work out for us. But we need price action, and I just don't know if that's going to happen today, my friends. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a wild ending of the week, but until then, it's going to be pretty lackluster, it looks like. Let's take a look at the euro yen. You all know that I'm bearish on this, and again, this is a copy of yesterday's chart. And I left all the lines on there because I wanted to show you how there was no price action, right? And look at how that reflected off of our trend line. So, we're basically stuck here between the daily pivot point and the 55 EMA. So we need to clear all that. So I'm not even looking to enter this unless we break this 124.70 area, which is really the S1 pivot. And, get a bearish candlestick formation, and we can sell this down to the 200 exponential moving average at 124.10. And, this is a nice 60 pip trade. We just need price action to give us the entry for the bearish move. So we want to sell this euro yen. Let's take a look at New Zealand dollar. Again, this is same as yesterday's chart, and we're just waiting for some kind of a pullback. You can see it did pull back a little bit yesterday. It looks like it came up to the R1, but we need this to pull back more than that, because we're right at support, right? We have a 55 exponential moving average, and we have the daily pivot point. So I really want this to come back up to 0.6900 would be fine. 68.90, we can sell from there. That'd be fine also. And that looks like that's the R2 reversal pivot point. So that'd be a great spot to get in with a bearish candlestick formation. So we just need the dollar to wake up so some of these trade plans can work out for us. And traders, that wraps up our 6 currency pairs for Tuesday, April 26th. Traders, on behalf of myself, William Gilday, and our great friends at FXCL Excellence in Trading, I want to thank you for joining me today, being Tuesday, and we have a lot of trading ahead of us. We're going to have a wild ending of the week with the BOJ and the FOMC coming out. So be patient, my friends. Be patient. Don't jump into trades if you don't have to. Okay? Do a trade plan. Trade your plan. Traders, again, thanks for being with me, and I'll see you in about 24 hours. Take care, traders. Bye-bye now.